We are now learning that the FBI was ordered to flag every time Donald Trump's name was mentioned as part of the Epstein files, a Democratic-led investigation involving witnesses inside the FBI and other whistleblowers is turning up that they were specifically ordered at the FBI to look for Donald Trump's name, flag it, and bring it right to the attention of FBI Director Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, and Pam Bondi. And this was right around the time that they came up with the first excuse that the Epstein files didn't exist and there was no list. And then Donald Trump said it was all a hoax, folks. Democratic Senator Dick Durbin writes the following: MAGA world right now is completely imploding over the Epstein cover-up. The FBI was told to flag any file mentioning Donald Trump. Why? We need some real answers. And so the Democrats in the Senate, led by Dick Durbin, who's doing a very good job on this issue, sent a letter to Pam Bondi about the cover-up right now, about this directive to FBI agents to make sure they brought to the attention of Kash Patel and of Pam Bondi anytime Donald Trump's name was mentioned in the files. We know Donald Trump's name is going to be in the files because Donald Trump has a history with Epstein that I've outlined in multiple videos. Donald Trump's all over the files that have been released. Of course, he's going to be in the files that have not been released. Over 300 gigabytes of files have not been released thus far. Here's the letter from Durbin. He goes, "Dear Attorney General Bondi, on July 7th, the Department of Justice and the FBI released an unsigned memorandum regarding the Trump administration's, quote, exhaustive review of investigative holdings relating to Epstein. This memorandum made two official findings. One, the systemic review revealed no incriminating client list. And two, after a thorough investigation, the FBI investigators concluded that Epstein committed suicide in his cell. The first finding directly contradicts public statements you have repeatedly made. On February 21, 17 days after your confirmation as Attorney General, you were asked directly by Fox reporter about this, and then you said it was sitting on my desk, the Epstein list. On February 27th, you released binders of documents related to the Epstein to conservative influencers, and you said it was phase one, but the full files would come. According to the information my office received, you then pressured the FBI to put approximately 1,000 personnel in its information management division, including Record Information Dissemination Section, RIDS, which handles all requests submitted by the public under the Freedom of Information Act and Privacy Act, on 24-hour shifts to review approximately 100,000 Epstein-related records in order to produce more documents that could then be released on an arbitrarily short deadline. This effort, which reportedly took place from March 14th through the end of March, was haphazardly supplemented by hundreds of FBI New York field office personnel, many of whom lacked the expertise to identify statutorily protected information regarding child victims and child witnesses or properly handle FOIA requests, Freedom of Information Act requests. My office was told that these personnel were instructed to flag any records in which President Trump was mentioned. Notably, in 2002, Mr. Trump said of Epstein, "I've known Jeff for 15 years, terrific guy. He's a lot of fun to be with. It's even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side." Just yesterday, it was reported that the department previously reviewed a leather-bound album comprised of dozens of letters from Mr. Epstein's friends in celebration of his 50th birthday in 2003. The letters were collected by Epstein's partner, Ghislaine Maxwell, and included one from Donald Trump that allegedly contains several lines of typewritten text framed by the outline of a naked woman, which appears to be hand-drawn with a heavy marker, and the future president's signature as a squiggly below her waist in the pubic region. Despite tens of thousands of personnel hours reviewing and re-reviewing the Epstein-related documents over the course of 2 weeks in March, it took the DOJ more than 3 additional months to officially find there is no incriminating client list, and the memorandum with its findings includes no mention of the whistleblower whistleblower or additional documents, the existence of which you publicly claimed on February 27th. The second finding in the July 7th memorandum does not contradict any official statement from the DOJ and accords with the DOJ Inspector General investigation regarding Epstein's custody in prison. However, public skepticism of the government's transparency in the matter has been needlessly increased due to your release of surveillance footage. And he goes on to say how that surveillance footage was edited in Adobe Premiere and how it had anywhere from 1 to close to 3 minutes that's missing. Given the serious questions about the veracity of your public statements regarding the Epstein-related records in DOJ's possession and the effect those questions are having on the public's ability to trust the DOJ's July 7th finding that there is no incriminating client list, I ask that you provide the following information and materials no later than August 1, 2025. Have you personally reviewed all DOJ's files relating to Epstein? The records the DOJ released on February 27th did not include a client list. Why did you publicly claim on February 21 that the client list was sitting on my desk right now to review? 3. Please provide the names and titles of the department ethics officials with whom you've consulted on your potential conflict of interest in the matter and any records or materials related to this consultation. Your pause there. She was the attorney general in Florida during a lot of the sex trafficking by Epstein. 4. When did the whistleblower disclose to you that thousands of additional Epstein-related records existed? Through what process did the whistleblower make this disclosure to you? 5. Aside from the negative backlash you received over the February 27th record release, what was the purpose of placing almost 1,000 FBI personnel on 24-hour shifts to review Epstein-related records over the course of a 2-week period? Who made the decision to reassign hundreds of New York field office personnel to this March review of Epstein-related records? Why were personnel told to flag the records in which Trump's name was mentioned? Please list all political appointees and senior DOJ officials involved in the decision to flag records in which Trump was mentioned. What happened to records mentioning Trump once they were flagged? Is there a log of records mentioning Trump? If yes, please transmit a copy of the logs mentioning Trump. 8. Did personnel review any correspondence to Mr. Epstein, including letters compiled in a leather-bound album as part of this year's review? Did personnel review any correspondence between Trump and Epstein, including a letter reportedly in that leather-bound album as part of the review? Why is the July 7th memorandum making the 2 official findings regarding Epstein unsigned? Why didn't you sign it? Why is nobody attaching their names to it? Is it false? Please describe in detail the process that occurred in the 3-month period between April and the July 7th memorandum. Then it says, list everybody involved in the memorandum.
Do you struggle with bloating and discomfort after your morning coffee? Well, after drinking Everyday Dose consistently, my bloating has reduced and my face, it feels less puffy. Everyday Dose is coffee plus benefits. It combines 100% Arabica coffee with powerful ingredients like lion's mane and chaga, collagen protein, and nootropics to fuel your brain, boost focus, and give you clean, sustained energy all day long. There's no crash and no jitters, just clean, sustained energy. The 2 products of theirs that you need to check out like right this second are their Coffee Plus and their Coffee Plus Bold. Coffee Plus is a mild roast. It's light and smooth. It's low acidity, which is easy on sensitive stomachs, and it gives you this mellow sort of energy. It's awesome. Coffee Plus Bold, that's their rich blend of medium roast, 100% Arabica coffee, robust and full-bodied, yet smooth. It gives you that extra boost of energy you're looking for. Both are 100% Arabica coffee, and they have functional benefits that are also mold-free. Now, Everyday Dose, they do third-party testing. I love that. Get 45% off your first subscription order of 30 servings of Coffee Plus or Bold Plus. You'll also receive a starter kit with over $100 in free gifts, including a rechargeable frother and gunmetal serving spoon by going to everydaydose.com/Meidas or entering Meidas at checkout. You'll get free gifts throughout the year. That's everydaydose.com/Meidas for 45% off your first order.
Let me just so you all know the documents that are out there still, because it's pretty clear that there is a massive trove of documents that's still not, that still hasn't been turned over. Let me just go through with you. I think NBC did a good job of what exists. ABC, what government evidence list tells us about the unreleased Epstein files? So one of the things that I think that Bondi inadvertently produced during that phase 1 binder release. The only new release document in phase 1, which received little public attention, was a 3-page catalog of evidence that appears to be an accounting of evidence seized during the searches of Epstein's properties in New York and the U.S. Virgin Islands after his arrest in 2019 and a search of his Palm Beach mansion a dozen years later. That little noticed index offers a roadmap to the remaining trove of records that Donald Trump's administration has declined to release, including logs of who potentially visited Epstein's private island and the records of a wiretap of Maxwell's phone. The 3-page index is a report generated by the FBI that lists the evidence inventoried by the federal law enforcement during the multiple investigations into his conduct. According to that index, the remaining materials include 40 computers and electronic devices, 26 storage drives, more than 70 CDs and 6 recording devices. The devices hold more than 300 gigabytes of data, according to the DOJ. The evidence also includes approximately 60 pieces of physical evidence, including photographs, travel logs, employee lists, more than $17,000 in cash, 5 massage tables, blueprints of Epstein's island and Manhattan home, 4 busts of female body parts, a pair of women's cowboy boots, and 1 stuffed dog, according to the list. The unreleased evidence notably includes multiple documents related to 2 islands Epstein owned in the U.S. Virgin Island, Little St. James, where his compound was located, and Greater St. James. According to the index, the files include a folder containing island blueprints, photographs, and other documents. Some of the documents could shed light on who visited the island. According to that index, the files also include a Little St. James logbook, as well as multiple logs of boat trips to and from the island. The evidence also includes multiple lists, one vaguely described as document with names, and an employee contact list. Investigators also recovered pages of handwritten notes, multiple photo albums, an Austrian passport with Epstein's photograph, and more than a dozen financial documents. The records also include 3 disks containing the outcome of court-authorized intercepts of a phone number previously belonging to Ghislaine Maxwell. So when we say, what do we want released? Redact the victims' names and release all that crap that I just said. It's pretty easy. All what I just said, release that. Redact the victim's name, release that. This is simple. This is simple unless you're hiding something. And that's what we're getting to the bottom of right now. And the FBI being ordered to flag Trump's name in that inventory? Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers. Thank you for watching.
Can't get enough Meidas? Check out the Meidas Plus Substack for ad-free articles, reports, podcasts, daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, and more. Sign up for free now at MeidasPlus.com.